Hello everybody, MDpolo here at Range USA in Carmel, Indiana. And once again, I'm fortunate enough to have the range to myself. So thank you so much to Range USA over in Indy North in Carmel. And today we've got something very different for my channel. Not only it's a revolver, but it's a Chiappa Rhino. This is the Charging Rhino. It is the 6.0D, so a 6-inch barrel, chambered 9mm. And this belongs to my good friend Greg, sorry about that. And so he put the red dot on it. It's not something I would have chosen, but I'm not gonna take it off for the review or for the video because it's his gun. But here we got by itself in the range, and just an overall interesting design, different. You require moon clips for the 9mm. And here we are. We are 10 yards out, and just to see what we can do. Wow, did you see that flinch? Good Lord. That's better. Reset is pretty much all the way out. What a different impulse. All right, so after that disaster class here with the moon clips, we're gonna do one more, got one more clip, and hopefully do a little bit better. Now that I know what to expect. So weird with a red dot. I'm getting worse. Well, you can feel what I'm doing. Wow. And we're empty. So that for sure was a disaster class, but we're empty and nobody on the range. Let me turn you around. As I always do, good or bad, I'm gonna show you what I did. Almost 10 yards out. And that was 2 moon clips. This was actually my last shot. Started decent, okay, then it got progressively worse. So definitely a different trigger. And I had a little bit of an issue with the reach from back here to here with medium-sized hands. But Chiappa Rhino, Charging Rhino. We're gonna take it to the tabletop and just give you a first look, and we'll take it from there. Once again, thanks to Range USA for allowing me to be here without any noise. Let's go to the tabletop. Okay, we're back from the range, and let me tell you, that was definitely something different. Today we're looking at the Chiappa Rhino. This is the Charging Rhino 60D. It's a second generation, so it's called the Charging Rhino Gen 2 60D. So, long name. But it's something very unique. It took me a bit to get used to on the range session. What you saw were my first shots, and it is just so different. Obviously, you can see the target. It was not my best shooting, but I kept this for a while and shot more through it. And the more I shot it, the more I got used to it, and the better it got. And it's definitely a nice shooting experience. And what it is 9mm, and it comes with 10 moon clips and a removal tool. I'll show you that in a second. It's a double action revolver with a 6-inch steel target barrel. It's got 6 round capacity of 9mm. It weighs 32 ounces and the length is 10.5 inches. So when you get the revolver, you get it in a just regular plastic case from Chiappa Firearms. And when you open it, and this was purchased used by my friend Greg. So thank you, Greg, for lending the revolver for the channel. He's lent a few guns in the past. And so thank you. He purchased this used, and it came with some things that, according to what I read from Chiappa, some come with it from new and some might have been from the prior owner. But you get a removal tool, because you have to use the moon clips for 9mm. And it came also with a loading tool. And I know this loading tool, at least Chiappa doesn't show it in the website as something that comes with it. But it's very interesting, and it makes it easy. Because you put it here, and let's assume that you were loading the moon clip. You see here, it says the arrow where it's supposed to be. This is where you put the case. And all you do is you put the bullet in here, the case with a bullet, and you just push it into the moon clip. And then you rotate it, you push it in, and you go all the way around. It makes it loading incredibly easy. And then, let's say you're done shooting, and you got your removal tool, and all you do is, with a removal tool, is you just twist it, and it pops out. You grab it, you twist it, of course not going to work on camera, and it pops out. So you got the removal tool, and you got the loading tool, and it just makes it very nice and very easy. And this is what it looks like with the moon clips already loaded. So you eject the other moon clip, this moon clip goes on, and you're ready to go. It comes with 10 different moon clips. So overall, a nice package. Comes with a cleaning kit also that is on the top part. So overall, a very nice setup. I bring the gun back in, the revolver, and I'm gonna let you take a look at it. Now, they're manufactured in Italy and imported by Chiappa in Dayton, Ohio. Now, it's not an inexpensive gun, and YouTube, I'm not selling this gun. I don't sell guns. I'm just providing a video for entertainment and education. But the MSRP on this comes in at around $1,624. You're finding it a retail price around $1,400, depending where you are. Your mileage may vary. And I'm seeing them used in decent condition around $1,000. So it's not an inexpensive revolver, but if you're into revolvers and you want to try something new, I think this is definitely something to look at. It was made for competition, like I said earlier, by Chiappa, and they actually are pretty popular in the competition circuits. Could be a competition circus as well. They have many models of the Chiappa Rhinos in different lengths, calibers. I mean, there's finishes. If you go to the website, it just you have a lot of options. But the Charging Rhino is the one that was made for competition. What makes it so different, I mean, other than the looks, I mean, by the way, this is a patented design, is that most revolvers are going to fire from the barrel being up here on the top part and firing from the top chamber. You can see here that the barrel is at the bottom. Your barrel is right here, right above the 5-slot pick rail. And so it fires from the bottom chamber, from down here, making it a very different and very unique shooting experience. Because most revolvers, especially when you get to 357, 44 Magnums and the such, the recoil experience is definitely, if you saw my video on the 500 Magnum from Smith & Wesson, that beast was something else. But the recoil is a big pow like that. This is very much of just a back and forth. So when you're holding the gun in your arm, the bore axis is really down here. And it aligns it almost perfectly with your arm. So when you're pulling this very, very smooth trigger, it's just pow, back and forth like this. But your sights are all the way up here, and then the optic is all the way up here. So it did take me a while to get used to all this. There you go, just letting you take a look at it. And starting at the top like we usually do, you got fiber optic front, and it's a ramp sight. And you got fiber optic in the rear that is also fully adjustable, as you can see there. And right now, my friend Greg has mounted a Swamp Fox optic to the top. So you got pick rail at the bottom, you got pick rail at the top, you got it ribbed for your pleasure. And the only control that you're going to see other than the trigger is going to be up here is your cylinder release. So you just pull it down and pop it out. So this is your cylinder, which is serialized. The serial number matches the one of the body. You can see it's also a different shape. 6 rounds of 9mm. Very smooth. The cylinder also turns, the rotation is very, very smooth. And just to let you look at details. And as you can see, there's your barrel down here. And then when you close it, it's just fully enclosed. Everything is just so smooth, from the cylinder release, the rotation of the cylinder, and then when you snap it back, just very, very smooth. Now the frame, and here, forgive me for mispronouncing or completely botching it, but I really never heard this before. The frame is made out of ergol, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, ergol aluminum alloy frame. That's what it is. And like I said, it's got upper and lower rails. But I'm gonna read this because I'm gonna tell you what ergol aluminum is, because I didn't know. So ergol is a forged aluminum alloy with zinc as the main alloying element. It is used because of the high strength, toughness, corrosion resistance, and it is mainly used for machinery applications in the aerospace industry. So I didn't know that, so I thought maybe you'd want to know if you didn't know either. But that's what the frame is made out of. So top of the line, and then the color, it is slate Cerakote from Cobalt Kinetics. So again, top of the line all over this revolver. The grips are gray laminate from Chiappa. Now let's talk a bit about the trigger. So it's a competition trigger, it's double action only, and it is not manual. You cannot cock it manually. Okay, so it's just, nothing happens back here. So it's a competition trigger, and on my trigger pull, on a 5-pull average, is pulling at 3 3/4 pounds. But it is so unbelievably smooth. Okay, so here we go. It's easier this way. So you pull it. There's not much of a staging area here like I would have. I've shown you a video on the Smith & Wesson Model 19 comp that I have. I like it a lot. When you pull, there's more of an area where you can feel it staging before it goes. This one is more, it's very easy to pull through that. So, but it's just so smooth. You could do this all day. I know you're not supposed to, but you could do that all day long. So again, pulling around 3 3/4 pounds, and it's just delightful. And as I mentioned earlier, you also have The hammer spring and the trigger return spring have been separated, and you can tune that up. And also, it's got a travel stop here for the trigger shoe, so you can adjust it here to your likeness. It's got, especially firing from the bottom chamber, you have to be very careful of where you place your thumbs, because if you do anything like this, firing from the bottom chamber, you're really going to feel it right away. And isn't that something you want to feel? So that's just as you shoot this, any of the Chiappa models, you've got to be very aware of that. What do I like about this? Almost everything, really. It's just more of getting used to a firearm that fires a very different way. Other than that, I love how smooth the trigger is, how soft it shoots. It's been reliable, it's accurate, and I just love the fact of how different it is. If you were to press me for a dislike, perhaps is the grip angle, the way the grip feels. Although it's got the finger grooves, in my hands it fits very well. And it looks kind of like it has a deep undercut here, but when you grip it, I mean, it really does hit my knuckle right there. And I don't have big hands, I have medium-sized hands. So, and I don't know if you can tell it, I mean, it's really hitting right at the knuckle. And thank goodness it's a 9mm, because if 357 or higher, you would really feel this. At least I would really feel this after shooting it for a while. So perhaps a little shaving off some of this area right here would be helpful. The trigger guard is decent, it's not huge, and I can if you had bigger, thicker fingers, I think you might have an issue here. Certainly with gloves, you're going to have an issue here. But for regular shooting, it works perfectly. So not many dislikes. So to wrap it up, not to make this video longer than it already is, and especially when you know that I'm not a revolver guy, so I don't know too much about what I'm talking about when it comes to revolvers. But I just wanted to show you this because I think it's very unique. We have an all-metal revolver chambered in 9mm that weighs 32 ounces, firing from the bottom chamber and barrel being so low, it just equals very low recoil and a very pleasant shooting experience. Also, as you look at it, as you feel it, you can just feel the quality. Made in Italy, they really did things right. They did their research, and they're providing a wonderful shooting experience and something very different. Like I said, something I have to get used to, but definitely worth the time, the money, and getting to know this one better. So that's what we have for you today. The Chiappa Charging Rhino Gen 2 in 60D model. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let me know if I said something that I shouldn't have said, or correct me so I can learn. And I would love to learn your thoughts and experiences on this design of revolvers, even if it's not the specific model like this, but any of the Rhinos. If you have them, what are your thoughts on them? How long have you had them? How reliability has been for you? Just your general experience with the Chiappa line. I would love to learn from that. So once again, thanks to my friend Greg for lending me this revolver for the review. Thanks to Range USA in Carmel, Indiana, for allowing me access to the range by myself so I can film and you guys can actually hear me. So thank you very much to both. Also, please remember that I upload videos every Friday morning and when I can on Wednesday mornings as well. You can find my content that uploads automatically to Rumble, posting to Instagram, to Twitter. I'm not going to say all over the place, but you can find me in a lot of places, and especially YouTube. We're knocking on the door to 20,000 subscribers, so thank you so much, and I hope you can help me go over the 20,000 subscriber mark. Once again, thank you very much for stopping by, and until the next time, God bless.